Wonderful people, great dear friends, wherever you are on the face of this very planet Earth, this very day, the 24th day of May, in the year that Chukwukika created, 2021. The time now is exactly 3 minutes past the top of the hour, regardless of where you're domiciled, and we are welcoming you to this very live, hopefully uninterrupted broadcast this very day, going out to the entirety of humanity. People are listening to us from all over this very planet Earth, and I must welcome each and every one of you. And as I do so, please endeavor to tell other people as well that we are live and that we are direct. And the heaven that sent us is here to preside over our proceedings this very evening. Therefore, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you, especially those who are under the siege, the bombardment, the torture, the abductions, the kidnappings, the murder that is going on every day in the land of Biafra. I want all of you to endure, because ultimately that is going to lead us to our freedom. We are not going back, because we do not understand what retreat means, nor surrender. The only way we have to go is forward, and ultimately, the very glorious land of Biafra will be ushered in our time. This very evening, do not forget your pen and your paper. For those of them of the Janjaweed disposition, do not forget your chalk and your slate, because here we educate, here we impart knowledge, here we make sure that we connect all the right nerves and sensory organs in your body, but especially your brain. Here we are going to make sure, as I tweeted earlier, that your frontal lobe, which is the part of your brain responsible for reasoning, is connected to the rest of your body, that you may be able to do the right thing. Please go out and tell the whole world that we are live and that we are direct. And heaven is bearing us witness, as always. My name is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, the largest mass movement on the face of this very planet Earth. I am the director of radio, Biafra and Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of the Most High, now and forever, I would remain a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. This evening, we are going to preach this very gospel that we have been asked to preach. This evening, we are going to bring enlightenment. This evening, we are going to make sure that some of the things that you were unable to understand nor discern, this evening will be laid bare for you to appreciate the enormity of the mess that the damnable zoological republic has fallen into. But before that, we are going to pray a very brief and a very short prayer in the language of the ancients, because our land is the very oldest habitation of man on this earth. Chineke na nke pụrụ ihe niile, Chukwu okike abịama, onye ihe niile ekere eke na-agba aka ebe ịhụnanya ya na ebere ya, mara ya na ọmịiko ebe ndị ya nọ, onye anyị na-aja mma wee na-efe mgbe niile, n'ihi na ndị Igbo tụrụ ga-ebighị ebi. Ọ bụ ugbu a ka anyị onwe anyị bụ ndị dị ndụ ghọtara ihe nọ n'ime aha gị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi, n'ihi na ị dịghị anwụ anwụ. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ okike, ọ bụ naanị gị bụ mmalite na ọgwụgwụ, ọ bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke nna, nwanne otu onye na-adịghị agharịpụ ndị ya, onye mmeso ọma ya na-akarị n'ime ndụ ndị niile bụ ndị ji enwe ntụkwasị obi. Ọ bụ n'ihi mere anyị ji wee dị ndụ gbuo eru n'ụbọchị nke taa. Ọ bụ gị onwe gị mere anyị ji wee na-eme ọnụ, wee na-anya isi, wee na-aba mba si na Biafra ga-abịarịrị. Ọ bụghị n'ike aka nke anyị onwe anyị, n'ihi na ihe ọbụla nke gị onwe gị dị nsọ dere idewe ya. Ebe ikpebiri n'ime mmụọ nna nke ebere dị ngọzi na Biafra ga-abịarịrị, onye m na Chineke nna nke igwe onwe ihe mmadụ dị ndụ pụrụ ime. Ọ bịa mere ka ha rabụ ndị kunu wee na-ekwutọ, wee na-akọtọ Biafra nna nke igwe. Ndị dị etu a bụ ndị ji ana wee na-ezere mmiri n'ụbọchị nke taa. Onye ọwụwa pụtara wee sị na Biafra agaghị adị, onye dị etu agaghị adị, n'ihi na ebu Chineke. Ọ bụ na adịghị ka anyị na-efe, anyị na-efe arụsị. Anaghị m efe arụsị ọbụla dị nke ndị ọcha butere na nke dị nsọ. Anaghị m efe arụsị ọbụla dị ka anyị na-akpụ isi ala nye. Ọ ga m iji wee na azanyoku mo blanye okuru iwe zanyoku we na ajoge mgbagara mmehie ai we na ajoge hụnanya gị we na asị gị onye kere igwe maka elu ụwa Chukwu okike abịa ma biko bịa ka iwe leta ndị gị n'ihi na ụmụ gị natakwana ahụ we natabighị ihe oke ndị iro abatakwa n'ime ala nsọ bụ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na kama ị ga-esi chụghachi ha azụ na mgbe gara aga tinye ọgbaghara n'etiti ndị dị etu a ị ga-etinye ọgbaghara n'etiti ndị iro bụ ndị janjaweed eze bubere ngozi n'ihi na dịka anyị si wee rie ohi ime ọka kasị ha wee baa ha ọnụ ndị ga-abụ ndị alara n'ihi onye nwe m rọpụtara ụmụ gị ngwa agha nye anyị ọgụgụ isi nye anyị amamihe nye anyị ezi nghọta nna nke bere kwa anyị ka anyị wee ghọta anya nke arara arọ nna nke igwe n'ihi na ọ bụghị ndị niile bụ ndị nwe ọgụgụ isi dịka ndị gboo si wee nwe ọgụgụ isi anyị wee na-ajọghị Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe niile ka i wee mee ha ụbụrụ ụmụ mmadụ wee mee ha obi ha ka ha wee hụ ihe ọma nke Biafra ga-ewetara onye ọbụla na ọ bụghị sọsọ ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra onye nwe m kama na onye ọbụla nọ n'ebe ọbụla n'elu ụwa nka ihe ọma wee na-amasị onye dị etu ahụ nna nke ebere biko nụ kwere ndị etu ahụ wee kwe ka Biafra wee bịa ka ndị isi ojii n'ụwa niile wee hụ ihe gị na ịma mma gị n'ime ndụ ndị anyị wee na-adọghị eze ebube dị ngozi ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ anyị ọkwara gị chi ọzọ ewezụga gị onweghị onye ọzọ nke anyị na-akpụ isi ala nye ma ọ bụrụ naanị gị anyị wee na-adọghị n'abalị nna nke ebere n'ụtụtụ ehihie abalị n'ihi na ụmụ gị gbasara ka ọkpaka n'ụwa niile ka iwe kpọkọta ndị gị n'oge niile mgbe nnọọ ọbụla ji alaghachi na-akwụ ya ndị nsọ biko nụ mere anyị amara bịa ka iwe nye anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụrụ gị n'ọnwụ onye nwe m na Chineke nna lekwa aja niile nke anyị na-achụrụ gị eze ebube dị ngozi anyị wee na-asị gị onye nwe m na Chineke nna onye bi n'ime igwe onye ọbụla anyị na-ahụ na nzuzo onye na-ahụ obi mmadụ dị ndụ nna nke igwe onye dị anya ozi nke anyị onwe anyị na-aga nara otuto niile na nrube isi niile nara ịja mma niile ịkpụ isi ala onye nwe m nara otuto n'elu otuto nna nke ebere dị ngozi ka ọ ga-abụ na ikpete mazụ ụwa niile ga-asị n'ezie n'ezie na ụmụ Biafra bụ ụmụ Chineke anyị ga-aja aha nsọ gị mama too gị ma gọzie onye kere igwe n'ụwa ugbu a mụrụ mgbe niile ebebiga na-arịọ gị ise ọkwa n'ozi ọma Chineke ka anyị na-agbasa. We are here to preach the gospel of heaven, the gospel of truth and redemption, because as always we are incorruptible without blemish, whiter than white and whiter than snow. That is why we defend the truth with every vigor. That is why you cannot go anywhere and hear that these people at one time they derailed, because Elohim is with us. We must proceed this very evening. We must proceed to preach this very truth. I am starting this very day with a very simple warning to those of you that occupy government houses in the entirety of Biafra land. I know that your masters and your lovers in the north, the Fulani Janjaweed, I know all of you are under pressure to try to do the bidding of the oppressor, to try to do the bidding of your masters. But I must warn you and warn you very, very imminently. President of Imo State said that he has arrested over 400 suspects in Imo State alone. 400 suspects. And I want Hope Uzodinma to understand this evening that we know where you're holding them. You have converted part of Ikonso House into prison cells. And I want people all over the world to understand what we are trying to explain this evening very, very clearly. Hope Uzodinma, the Sarkin Fulani of Imo State, the Supreme Court Administrator of Imo State, imposed by Abakiari, the late Abakiari, a servant of the Janjaweed Fulani Caliphate, is arresting our people and locking them up inside government house in Owerri. Before tomorrow you start complaining and start talking your rubbish as usual, I want you to ask Hope Uzodinma if you feel that those you arrested right now, over 400 of them in government house, including 3 pregnant women, 3 pregnant women inside the Ikonso house, which is the government lodge in Imo State. 3 pregnant women are being held by Hope Uzodinma. Because tomorrow some of you suffering from the very advanced form of Hausa syndrome. I don't call it Stockholm syndrome anymore, because Hausa syndrome is even worse. When Fulani conquer you, they subjugate you, they oppress you, you wake up in the morning and you start loving them. I call it Hausa syndrome, not Stockholm. Stockholm is too foreign, too Western. It's too mild. If you are close to anybody serving in the Imo State government, if you're close to any APC high-profile politician in Imo State, you must warn them and warn them tonight. Hope Uzodinma is holding our people in Communicado. These are Biafrans, some of them with no link to IPOB, no link to ESN, nothing. 3 pregnant women are in Imo State government house, Ikoso house, this very day. In detention, in our land. Women born in our land, married in our land. 3 of them are pregnant. Out of, it is over 700. He's saying it's only 400. They are keeping in government house. They think we will forget them, so they can slaughter them and sell their parts, as they usually do. He has surrounded himself with Fulani Janjaweed. They have come in the guise, even including terrorists in the guise of army and police. But we know that these are the people they call repentant terrorists. As I asked the other day during my interview, that some people have said is a landmark interview with Dr. David Masanga, I made it very clear that nobody anywhere in the world, including the British High Commissioner, can distinguish between a normal patriotic Nigerian soldier and a Fulani terrorist in uniform. Nobody can make that distinction. That is why they must all be regarded as terrorists, all of them, regardless of who they are. Because some of you have very shallow reasoning. And this evening, as I said earlier, we are trying to connect. There is a part of the brain that the other animals do not have. It is called the frontal lobe of the cranium. The frontal lobe, you know, the part of your brain in front of your skull. It is called the frontal lobe. That is where every critical thinking takes place in a human being. Other animals do not have it. Even if they do, it is not of the same mass. The quantity is not as that you find in human beings. We are reasonable people. And I want Hope Uzodinma to understand that he is holding people in Communicado, holding them prison. You are not the law court. Sarkin Fulani of Imo State, you are not a law court. You people claim you operate a democracy. You arrest people, you don't try them, because you know you have no case against them. That is why you cannot present them before any properly constituted court. What you do instead is to hold people, to kill them extrajudicially, and then distribute their body parts all over the world in the name of profit making. Hope Uzodinma, you're traveling with 400 soldiers, policemen, helicopters, and armored tanks. That is the life of a condemned prisoner. There is no difference between you and a high-profile prisoner on death row anywhere in America. You are exactly the same. I want you to go and see when they are moving condemned men to court in America. The high-profile ones, the serial murderers and killers. The same way you went to church yesterday is how exactly they transport murderers and killers in America. There's no difference. Armored cars, U.S. Marshals everywhere. In the case of the zoo, it is the police. Even the National Guard or the army, they come out to sometimes escort the very dangerous criminals. You went to church yesterday as the criminal that you are. And that is going to be your life as long as you live. You are holding over 400 people hostage inside the Imo State, the government house, inside the council house. You are holding them hostage because you believe they are part of Eastern Security Network or the wider IPOB family. In your stupidity and hopelessness, as your name implies, because you're hopeless, you are not hope. I want you to understand that ESN, we are in the bushes dealing with Fulani terrorists and their cattle. That is our job, and that's what we're doing. Anybody you see on the street is not and can never be ESN. Every ESN officer operative is inside the bush, safeguarding our land from the ravages and the excesses of Fulani Janjaweed Caliphate, intent on colonizing and subjugating us. and you're doing their work for them. I'm not the one that said this. This is a statement from the Imo State Chief Press Officer. His press secretary, they call him, his name is Oguwike Nwachukwu. According to the Imo State government installed by the Fulani Caliphate, their own mouth, they said over 400 people that caused mayhem or attacks in the states have been arrested and charged to court. You see the way they lie, but the courts are not working. The courts are on strike. I want them to understand that they're dealing with people who are infinitely more intelligent than they are. These people are being held in cells and in prison holding centers inside the government house itself in Owerri. And I am highly disappointed that somebody as venerable as Archbishop Obinna, a man I love and respect immensely, and you know me, it doesn't matter how close you are to me, when you do wrong, I will tell you. And this very evening, I am respectfully telling Archbishop Obinna that he got it wrong by allowing this murderer into Assumpta Cathedral. Unless he went there to confess. Let me repeat, as much as I love and I respect Archbishop Obinna, allowing Hope Uzodinma to enter the house of God, Assumpta Cathedral in Owerri, is a desecration of that very place. He's a murderer. Not too far from Assumpta Cathedral, they are holding over 700 people hostage, including 3 pregnant women. And Archbishop Obinna allowed this criminal to come to church. And let it be the first and the last time any church will allow Hope Uzodinma to, should I say, defile their presence or their altar. Any pastor, any archbishop, I swear to God Almighty in heaven, any idiot who as much as invites Hope Uzodinma to his church anymore, God is my witness in heaven, you will pay very dearly for it. Hope Uzodinma is a murderer, is a killer. I don't want Archbishop Obinna to repeat this type of thing again. Hope Uzodinma is a killer. The era of seeing nonsense and tolerating it has come and gone in our land. We confront evil when we see it. How can you allow this man to come to your church to confess his faith or whatever he was doing in your church? You allow the murderer, somebody who called terrorist army of Nigeria into his own state to kill his people. And an archbishop allowed him to come to church, Roman Catholic Church for that matter. It's an abomination. A desecration of Assumpta Cathedral in Owerri. Archbishop Obinna is a very intelligent man, a skilled theologian. I don't know for the life of me why he would allow this vagabond criminal, ex-419er, to enter into Assumpta Cathedral. I have no idea why he would allow it. Is it because of money? You tell us and we'll give you money. If the Catholic Church wants money, IPOB will give them money. What Archbishop Obinna did is wrong. You allowed a murderer of his own people to enter into a supposed house of God. It's an abomination before God and before man. And such nonsense should not repeat itself. I'm begging you, please. Shouldn't happen again. From today, any pastor anywhere, if you want to try us, you go ahead and do so. I don't care if you're Anglican church, if you're Catholic church, if you're Methodist, if you're Baptist, I don't care whatever reason Hope Uzodinma has to give you. I'm telling you this. No pastor should welcome, as I want every community. No community should allow Hope Uzodinma to inspect anything to come to that very village. No community in Imo State. The same way I'm telling you this evening, no pastor, no archbishop, no priest, no dibia, no native doctor is allowed to invite Hope Uzodinma to go, or should I say, to do whatever he wants to do with them. I don't care. But in secret, no more open attendance of church in Imo State for Hope Uzodinma, because that very church will receive the anger of the people. We are all this nonsense you are doing before with Fulani Janja, with that era has come and gone. We are not going to tolerate any idiot anymore. We cannot tolerate any fool anymore in our land. All we want is to be free. The Fulani can try as much as they can to plant every idiot in every political office. We are not going to give them the space to operate. It is impossible. It is impossible. I want to hope to understand this. Absolutely impossible. If you want to know if you are joking, I want to see the next stupid pastor to invite to his church in Imo State anywhere. You're not ashamed of yourselves. Your people are being killed, and you are inviting the killer. You are inviting the murderer into the church to come and do what? I'm asking you. To do what? It has some cathedral. I'm asking you. A murderer, a killer of his own people. All of you are not ashamed of yourselves. You're not ashamed of yourselves. I may be in good terms with somebody. Any day you mess up, I will shred you. I don't give a damn who you are. If you're on the side of righteousness and truth, I will always extol you. I'll also, any day you deviate 1 inch to the right or the left, I will shred you to pieces. Let me see the idiotic pastor that will try that rubbish again in Imo State. God will punish you. You want to invite the killer of women and children into your church to come and do what? I'm asking you. By their own mouth, they are holding over 400 people hostage because the courts are not working. They think if they issue a statement, oh, we'll refer them to the court, it will solve the matter. No, because the courts are not working. You could not have referred them to any court. And in your stupid, 1999 constitution is clearly stipulated. Once you're holding on to somebody for 2 months without presenting them before any competent court of law, they should be set free on bail. That is what the law says. In case you don't know, it's in your stupid, useless, idiotic, Janjaweed constitution of 1999. By their own mouth. I will tell you what they said. Listen very carefully. Over 400 of those who carried out the threats on the state in the past has been arrested. And I'm asking them to publish the names of those they arrested before they cut up their bodies and send their penises to China for wonton soup. He went on to say, the good thing is that 70% of them are not Igbo. They think they're dealing with children. They have no brain. That's what I think. We know we are little children. If 70% of them are not Igbo, where are they from? They're from Chad or from Mali, or they're from the Niger Republic. Why can't you make it public? After all, when you arrest people, you parade them. Why don't you parade those in government house right now as prisoners of opposition? A pastor will see all of this, an archbishop, a learned man will see a murderer, and they allow a murderer to come to his church. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Let me see another pastor that will invite him. Then you will see. 3 pregnant women are among those being held by Hope Uzodimma right now as I'm speaking to you. And somebody who claims he worships God invited such a demon to his church. I don't blame some of these people. I blame those that support them. I blame those that brought this very barbaric, almost satanic government of Fulani Caliphate, APC, into power. People that knew that these same people, Fulani Caliphate, are masters at shielding their own murderers and killers. Who formed ISIS in West Africa province? I'll come to that later. Who were the earliest sponsors of Boko Haram? It's not the same Ali Ndume that is talking rubbish about restructuring and self-determination. Who are the owners of killer headsmen? Who brought bandits into the country called Nigeria? The zoo. Who brought them in? Why is it that police cannot stop Fulani headsmen killing people anywhere, even as we speak in Benue and in Plateau states? Right now, as I'm talking to you, they are killing people, sacking villages. You will not see the army, you will not see the police. And people read these things every day on the page of newspapers and they take it as nothing. Oh, it's nothing. They kill people in Benue. Okay. This country now, wow, that's all you can say. In the night, you call yourself a human being because you cannot reason. You are in a country where the government is actively supporting people that they themselves brought in to kill you. You say nothing. You are not agitated. You are not upset. You are not angry. All you do is you lament and you do nothing afterwards. And somehow, miraculously, and in our idiocy, we think, oh, the problem will just go away. Who told you that? Instead, they are redoubling and intensifying their efforts to conquer you. I don't blame them. The army doesn't work when it comes to ISIS in West Africa, when it comes to Boko Haram, when it comes to killer headsmen, which is Mietiala, when it comes to bandits. No, they're not terrorists. And all of you are there, 200 million idiotic people just moronically just looking every blessed day. None of you has the courage to call upon the powers that be in Asorok, which is essentially Fulani Kaba, because there is no Buhari, to say to them, oh, why don't you label your own people terrorists? That is why Hope Uzodinma gave them the impetus to come to Imo State, to bomb Imo State, to kill people, to put us through exactly the same thing we went through between 67 and 1970. And somebody as learned as Archbishop Obinna allowed that fool into Assumpta Cathedral. Lord, have people you expect to know better. Elders and learned men you expect to know better. By allowing Hope Uzodinma into Assumpta Cathedral, it means that you are condoning the killing of the people. That's what it means. Because there is an idea where we come from. If you see evil, you condemn it. You will joy. How can you allow Hope Uzodinma into Catholic Cathedral in nowhere? What for? I'm asking you. A murderer and a mass murderer and a killer of his own people. Dear me. An Archbishop, Desmond Tutu, was fighting against apartheid regime in South Africa. From the pulpit, he was saving ANC activists from apartheid killers and murderers. You as an Archbishop, the people you are saving are those who have come to murder their own people. And you want me to respect you? Of course, it's impossible. Absolutely impossible. I cannot. It's impossible. I don't support evil. Oh, God. I want people to understand something. The Nigerian army and police are part and parcel of the entire Fulani terrorist caliphate package, designed to put fear into you, to allow them to take over your land. I will come to that later on as well. But very, very sadly, in our land, they have found willing accomplices in the likes of Hope Uzodinma, in the likes of Nyesom Wike, the likes of Dave Umahi, a very poisonous man, very, very poisonous man. I'm telling you. The people they are serving is this same Fulani government. That no matter what happens, no matter how much you cry, federal character, all of you are there. From Lagos all the way to Bakassi to Calabar. From the island of Bonny, all the way to heaven knows, maybe Katsina Allah somewhere, or to Jos. All of you are just there. You complain every time federal character, they don't obey federal character. Every position is compared. The next day they appoint another Fulani man to another position. And after 4 or 5 hours, you tell me, let Nigeria move along together in unity. And this evening, I want to ask you, does your frontal lobe work? You know that part of the brain that has to do with reasoning, critical thinking and reasoning. Are you sure it's working in your brain? Are you sure it's working? Because I am no longer sure that it is working in most of you. This same Fulani government that went as far, only you people, are you sensible at all? I'm asking you. Does it mean that you have no brain? Is that what it means? You have no brain, you cannot reason. You have no brain. You can no longer reason. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me? I'm asking. Is that what you're telling me? I am seriously shocked and surprised. Shocked and surprised at some of you. Fulani is playing ping pong with your brain. They are the ones that supported Boko Haram. They are the ones that built ISIS in West Africa. Some of you have forgotten. You know, I was hoping that somebody will refer back to the notes they took whilst listening to our broadcast, our lectures, to make reference to when I told you that they are the ones that formed ISIS in West Africa. Buhari, when he was alive, was the person that singularly brought in ISIS into the zoo. And I told you that he went and took the child, the first son of Mohammed Yusuf, the founder of Boko Haram, and gave him leadership of ISIS in West Africa. And I told you that they did it in order to try and divide Boko Haram. Did I not tell you that many years ago? How come some of you don't even make reference? And when I ask you to bring your pen and paper, some of you even forget, you don't even bother bringing them. I warned you and I told you what they are trying to do, or what Buhari tried to do when he was alive, was to divide Boko Haram into two. He failed. He went and brought ISIS. Released al-Banawi from detention and made him the overall commander of ISIS. Do you know that Nigerians are coming, people that claim they want one Nigeria, Fulani people that claim they're opinion leaders, they come out on the pages of newspaper and say the government should support ISIS to defeat Boko Haram. I can't. And there is an intelligence that I have, I will give you people later. You'll be shocked. You will marvel at what is happening in Nigeria. You will be shocked to your bone marrow as to what is happening in that zoo called Nigeria. I'm telling you the truth. This same Fulani government that is so biased to the extent that they are the ones paying their own criminals. They call them bandits. These are murderers and killers. These are terrorists, sacking villages even as we speak. They give them money. They give them everything. They give them police protection. And I want to tell you what happens to the police also, where Fulani people had in the past ravaged and sacked villages. They are also burning down their police stations in the north, but they won't report it. It is now very clear to everybody that Nigeria police and army, they are part and parcel of the problem that you're going through. But you are too foolish, you are too myopic, you are too blind, your brain is not working. That is why you cannot connect all the dots to understand what the Fulani Janjaweed has in store for you. Who are the ones that started paying bandits in Nigeria? Is it not this APC Fulani government? Who are the people that said don't call them terrorists anymore, call them bandits? Is it not the same APC government? Who are the ones that changed the name of refugees into IDPs? Is it not the same APC government of the Fulani Janjaweed Caliphate? And all of you are just there, moronically and idiotically defending your stupid one Nigeria on a daily basis because you are foolish, because your brain cells are not working properly, because you are incapable of reasoning, because you lack discernment, because you lack the ability to reason properly. The same people that cannot do anything in the north are busy bombing. Let me give you an example. They are bombing Imo State. Is that not correct? Aerial bombardment everywhere. Around this world, Obo, Mbano, Etiti, all everywhere is under bombardment by Hopus of them. The same man that somebody like Archbishop Obinna allowed to visit his. Oh, even Archbishop Obinna of all people, you allow the murderer, a killer of his own people, to come to your church. My goodness. As they are busy bombing and bombarding Imo State, ask yourself, all this, I tweeted it earlier today, you can see that ISIS is now holding open community meeting in the north. No bombardment from anywhere. And later on, you will hear that angry youths in Niger State are burning police stations because they now know that the police, they are also part and parcel of the security problems they are having. No bombardment. Only in Imo State, only in our land. And somebody is telling me that Hope Uzodinma should be forgiven. Is that what you're telling me? Of course not. They can never, ever be forgiven. They must understand that. Nigeria is a place where real terrorists, killers, and murderers, rapists are being pardoned and reintegrated into the army and the police. Whereas in Biafra land, once you're a young man or woman, you are a suspect marked for death. And people think we can see all of those things and somehow we keep quiet. You think if you're ranting and writing your rubbish every blessed on social media, somehow will become swayed, somehow will stop. No, 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 we're not going to stop. You're dreaming. For how many years now? What have you people not tried to stop us? Has it worked? Will leave to Kenya. The more you write all this your junk and all this your rubbish, all this your all this nonsense that you keep writing all the time, the more enthused and energized we become. We know that what we are doing is working. We know that what we are doing is working. I want you to search every police station. Now, Hope Uzodimma said that 70% of those responsible for the so-called insecurity in his caliphate, Imo State, they're all foreigners. Now, let us do a very simple experiment. I want people, he said that 70% of those they are arrested so far are foreigners. And we know they are. But I want to ask you a question. Has anyone seen any foreign inmate of any prison in Imo State before? You claim they are foreigners, you've arrested them. Are you saying that if we go to Imo State prisons tomorrow, all the prisons in Imo State, we will now find these foreigners there? Is that what you're saying? Because if we go there tomorrow, there is no foreigner there, that means you're lying. That means that you are killing your own people in order to please your masters. If there is no Fulani man in any prison anywhere charged with terrorism or any miyat, let us be very specific, miyetiala, anywhere in Nigeria serving any prison sentence, that tells you all you need to know about Fulani people and their mindset and how they intend to make your life a misery. If you keep on shouting as idiotically as some of you do sometimes, one Nigeria, unity of our country, our great nation. Who told you Nigeria is great? When, where, how? Because you're living large in Abuja and in Lagos, that makes it great. Typical black people. Now, this evening, please, I want you to pay very close attention to what I have to say. In Nigeria, both their presidency, whoever is wearing Buhari mask, the military, the police, and the Miyetti Allah leadership are all in this game together to protect Fulani killers and murderers. I have asked our people this, especially Igbo people. I want to ask you this thing time and time and time again. When Ozowani was attacked by Fulani people, hundreds of people slaughtered, was there any Air Force raid of the nearby bushes? It's a simple question. When Nimbo massacre and slaughter occurred, did the Air Force take off from Enugu to go and search for them and destroy them? Did the governor of Enugu State ever open his mouth to say, oh, destroy them, or go and crush them? No, never. That tells you all you need to know about the mindset of these people that you call your political leaders. But in Biafra land, they have been killing innocent people. Nobody will ever say anything. They went to Mpo, I think about 4 years ago, 2016 at Mpo for no reason. This is one thing that the Efulefu brigade, somebody called them the multi-purpose Efulefu, and their Yoruba counterparts, the sophisticated morons, the idiots in Yoruba land that keeps writing rubbish all the time. The Igbo Efulefus, the intellectual, very hopeless and very useless. No one has ever asked the police and the army the question, all those people you killed at Mpo in 2016, what did they do to you people? A simple question they cannot ask. Without provocation, an atrocity documented by, they hate every organization. Of course, they hate Biafrans, they hate Igbo people. We know the reason why. For Amnesty to write about that massacre tells you all you need to know. Has anyone ever asked the army or the police, why did you go to Mpo to go and kill people? What did they do to you? All of you stupid, hopeless, animalistic, one Nigeria idiots, you can never reason very well. I want to ask you again, those people you killed at Mpo into this, what did they do to you? National High School, about those that you murdered in Aba National High School, what did they do to you? They were in a school, they were praying. Did they do anything to you? I believe you know the answer to that question. Those that you killed during Trump rally in Iguacha, did they do anything to you? It's a simple question I'm asking you. What did they do to you? Nothing. Now that some people, although I don't support what they're doing, now that some people have risen and they're very angry, and they are avenging the death of their own people. All of you are busy yapping your rubbish all the time. Oh, insecurity here, there be security. When they were killing innocent people, was there security? What do you call it? I'm asking you a question. What do you call it? When they were busy slaughtering innocent people out of hatred, Fanibo man, hatred, just sheer hatred. My Yoruba brothers and brethren, they have been rallying with Yoruba flag. So they do the flag. Has there been any mass murder there? What is it about the Duduwa flag that protects them? Yet, once you see Biafran flag, you want to kill anybody carrying it. Even those with muffler, you want to kill them. Those with t-shirts, with Biafran t-shirts, you want to kill them. Those with Biafran bangles, you want to kill them. And after doing all these things, you expect them to go and fold their hands and be saying hallelujah every day? You are insane in the head. You see, there was something that Sir Arthur Boma Harris said. He was the chief of Air Force staff during the Second World War. He's a British man. He was the commander of the Royal Air Force. He died in South Africa because there was so much condemnation after the Second World War because of the way he bombed Dresden, that the criticism made him to travel to live out the rest of his life in South Africa. His name is Arthur Harris. They call him Sir Arthur Boma Harris because he commanded the bomber squadron or whatever brigade of the British Air Force. You know what he said? When Hitler was bombing London, bombing everywhere, bombing Exeter, bombing Norwich, bombing Cambridge, everywhere, nobody said anything around the world. When he assumed command of the Royal Air Force, he set about bombing Germany. I remember his quote. He said that Hitler sowed the wind. Now they will reap the whirlwind. You know what a whirlwind is? Then there is wind, breeze, breeze. Then there is whirlwind, igugu, the real one. They sowed the wind. Now they reap the whirlwind. All of you in the army and police killing people over the years, you're all going to die, all of you. Only all of you are going to die. It's only a matter of time. You are going to perish, all of you. People want to be politically correct. Oh, don't say this. Oh, don't say that. But you are there. Hope Uzodinma is arresting pregnant women, putting them in detention. Whereas his Fulani counterparts are celebrating with their bandits, with AK-47. I want you to put what I'm saying into context. Put it into context, please. Have you ever heard any Fulani governor in the north, in the Sharia north, call for the bombardment of hideout of terrorists or bandits ever before? But in our land, in the land of God itself, in Biafra land, in the bosom of Biafra land, Imo State, somebody who calls himself the administrator of that state is locking up pregnant women. Pregnant women. I want everybody, those of you close to Uzodinma and the Imo State government, go and ask them, do you have 3 pregnant women in custody, in detention, in government house or not, in Imo State right now? Go and ask him. 3 pregnant mothers. Now you understand the same hatred that Israel is going through, isn't it? They just hate the children of God for no reason. Just sheer hatred that is there. If you ask them why, they don't know. We have to hate you. because you're blessed. And Chukwukikabiama is your God. That is the reason why. DSS are in our place, flexing, kidnapping people every day. Whereas their own Fulani terrorists are going about killing innocent citizens without any interference from the government. All of you were there a few days ago. Somebody opened his mouth and said, "Oh, ISIS killed Shekau. The government the government plan with ISIS." You know, that is the reason why I've not even had. You know, I kept thinking, I kept praying and asking Elohim, did you make a mistake creating these people? A government official is saying that we collaborated with ISIS, the deadliest terror group in the world, in order to defeat Shekau. I mean, come on. I'm sure some of you didn't even notice, did you? Go back to your news, it is there. Go back to your news, it is there. They have Hope Uzodimma, and Umahi have helped their masters from the north to turn our land into a shooting range where they test their new weapons on innocent people in our land. Imo State today, it's just, you can see the scars of battle all over Imo State. They call it show of force. But today in Zamfara, people were kidnapped, no show of force. People are dying in Niger State, no show of force. So people are being slaughtered in Plateau, as I will tell you later on, no show of force. Only in our land, that is show of force. What does that tell you about those you are in your one Nigeria with? They hate you with a passion. They hate you with a passion. What the Fulani people are doing, I will tell you now before it happens, is to take over our land by force. What they have done is to say, since you have managed to neutralize Shekau, we now give you the license to march to the Atlantic. That was what Buhari planned before he died from ab initio, from the beginning. When he called Shekau and asked Shekau to stop attacking military formations in the north and mosques, Shekau said no. That was all. They went. Remember when they tried to bribe me in detention and I said no, they formed reformed the IPOB. That was what they did. ISIS came. Before Buhari died, he was a supporter and promoter of ISIS. And I want to ask the US ambassador, and I want to ask Katrina Lang, that woman, I don't know if it's a girl or a woman, are you not aware that Nigerian government said that they collaborated with ISIS to kill Shekau? Did you not hear that? So you feel that that is not insecurity. Insecurity is happening only in Biafra, nowhere else. That is why we must pray for Eastern Security Network. You know, the Fulanis never banked that they will meet ESN. They never knew that we will come. They never knew. All these years, as I was telling and preaching on live on air, I kept telling you people that are going to come. I never rested. We kept planning every blessed day to defend our land. Nobody can come out and say, oh, I gave them this, I gave them that. Chukwukikabiama provided. No politician, no governor, nobody. Today, we are the ones that drove away Mietiala from our land. No forest again is being occupied by these people in our land. They are feeling the heat every day now. Don't they know that already? Of course they know. In our land, every blessed day, oh, police station is being burnt down. Nobody will ask themselves, what did the police do? So you think that somebody can just wake up and walk into a police station and just burn it down like that because they're mad? You know they're not mad. Ask yourself, the world should ask Nigeria police and Nigeria army, what did you actually do that people will hate you this badly? What did you do to them? Oh, you think I'm talking about Biafra land, the East? No, you're mistaken. I want to give you news. He's there, but it will not receive due prominence because it wasn't done by people they hate. You know that collective hatred they have for Biafra, that collective, that animalistic hatred for the Igbo man, for no reason, That is why anytime a police station is destroyed in the East, they amplify, they magnify it. But I want to shock all of you this morning. Because there's a news that broke today. Angry youth set police station ablaze in Niger. Angry youths set police station ablaze in Niger. Is it headline for Channels TV? Of course not. Why? Because the people that set the station ablaze are not Igbo or presumed to be Igbo. They are not Biafra. They are not Ibibio. They are not from Akwa Ibom. They are not Efik. They are not from Cross River. So it's not news. No. We want that one that happened in Igbo territory. So we can, because, some of them even hate Igbo without even knowing. Even when they begin to express their hatred, they don't even know that they're doing it. Example is here. Protesting youths on Monday, being today, vandalized and burned Gauraka police station in Tafa, local government area of Niger State, over the abduction of 15 persons by bandits. Why did they burn it down? Because the police did nothing. The police are working with the bandits. And I want to tell you that in Niger State that's been under siege, 15 persons were abducted. The villagers from a place called Gauraka went and burnt down their police station. Instead of the police to protect the people, the police are busy protecting terrorists, Fulani terrorists, because the DPO is Fulani. IG of police is Fulani. Area commander is Fulani now. Don't you know that? Are you following what I'm telling you? Do you see why on this noble platform people must reason? We compel you to use your senses to be able to reason properly as a human being should. So burning of police stations is not just happening in Biafra land, it's also happening in Niger State. But there is no aerial bombardment. The governor of that state has not called the Air Force to come and bombard them. He has not called for military occupation of that very place. But he hopes that an Igbo man allegedly is calling Air Force army to come and kill his own people. And you're telling me that such a human being deserves to live? Or that such a person deserves to be invited to attend the church service by an archbishop? Do you think that is proper? I am telling you that a police station has been burnt in Niger State. Did you hear the Niger State governor come out to say, "Oh, they are these, they are hoodlums. We are going to kill them. We are going to suffocate them"? No, because the police is guilty. 15 people kidnapped by bandits. Police chased the bandits. Police said no, they're not going anywhere. They burnt down the police station. The bandits moved from house to house. As they were moving from house to house, kidnapping people, they kept calling the police. The police never responded. That's police in Nigeria for you. Fulani police. Because they are in a hurry. 2022 is almost here. They're in a hurry to move, to take as much land as they can before the negotiations will start in 2022. Then Britain, Katrina Lang will tell you, "Oh no, you're all Nigerians. You have freedom of movement wherever you are. You can be a Nigerian there." That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. A pregnant woman was also taken, and that got the villagers angry. People sustained injuries. Oh my goodness. Well, some people said, oh my goodness. Many people were killed in the incident as well. Fulani killing people in Niger State. Killing Nupe people. They call them we Northerners. Who said you're Northerners? You are Nupe from Niger State. You are not a Northerner anything. You are Nupe, and Fulani people are killing you. But in order to smoothen over the whole thing, they say, "Oh, people are killing Nigerians." No, it's Fulani killing Nupe people in Niger State. They came to our land, they came to Biafra to kill, and we said, "No, you cannot kill us. Instead of you to kill us, we'll kill you." Now they brought in their army and their police to be killing innocent people, abducting innocent people. The youth were protesting over what they termed as the increasing spate of abductions in Suleja and Tafalo government area. They took to the road on Monday to block the Kaduna-Abuja Express Road. The youths went further to vandalize the police station and set it on fire. It is not headline news, is it? Because it's not those that committed this very crime or this very act. They want Igbo people, so why magnify the news? It's just a news you come across and you move on. You cannot magnify it because Igbos are not involved. The government of Niger State, I'm waiting. Maybe tomorrow they'll start a bombardment, but I know it's not going to come. Compare and contrast that behavior by the Niger State government to what Hope Uzodinma is doing. And then you get the perfect definition of an Ifulefu. Did it stop there? No, I have not finished. I have not finished. I want to let the world understand what is going on in a damnable zoological republic. One day, the police station burnt down as motorcyclists and police clash in Lagos. In Lagos, oh. Tinubu, are you listening to me? In Lagos. In Tinubu's Lagos, police station was burnt down. Are you people aware of this? A police station in Ile-Epo bus stop, Okeodo, on Lagos Abeokuta Expressway was on Monday, the same day, set ablaze. Because there was problem between motorcyclists and the police. Everybody now knows that the police is the problem. Fulani Nigeria police is the problem. Fulani Nigeria army is the problem. We don't know where the terrorists are. Those you put in the police and in the army, where are they? Those who claim to have repented. Now working for ISIS. Now working for Boko Haram. You see how Fulani people are playing with. You know, sometimes I blame the editors that we have. Somebody said that Fulani have taken over their hometown in Oka. I don't know the place. I don't believe that is possible. In Biafra, of course, it's not possible. It's not possible. I blame newspaper journalists. I blame some of you who half-educated, dim-witted people that went through. Sadly, you know, somebody wrote a very moving piece that when people go to school in Nigeria, they go through a system of miseducation. They're not educated properly. A people without a sense of history, without a sense of perspective. They don't know where they're coming from. Therefore, they don't know where they're going. My good friend and brother, and happy birthday to him, Dele Momodu, who is 61, incidentally, is the same age as Nigeria or older than Nigeria. Dele is older than Nigeria. Isn't that so bizarre? Or around about the same age as Nigeria. So if you want to make a reference point, you start from 1960. Everything before 1960 doesn't exist. In other words, you're confused. So those who are like Obasanjo that came before Nigeria was ever, should I say, granted their flag independence in 1960, these are confused generation. Forget they say, oh, they're elders, they're not elders. They are confused people. They don't know where they're coming from. So if you ask Obasanjo, who was your father? What nationality was your father? He cannot tell you. That means he doesn't know where he's coming from. If you ask all this, I'm an elder statesman. Ask Mr. Elder Statesman. Let it be like somebody like let's say in Clark. You are in your 90s. What nationality was your father? He cannot tell you. Even in his 90s, he is confused about where he's coming from. Now, how can you know where you're going to? If you don't know where you're coming from, how can you know where you're going? That is why whenever you meet a madman or a madwoman on the streets, on the road, you ask them, oh, where are you going to? You tell them, I don't know where I'm going, because he or she doesn't know where they're coming from. You have men who are in their 90s, saying they are Nigerians. They are older than Nigeria by nearly 30 years. They are saying they are Nigerians. And I want to ask you, sir, what was your nationality before the white man came? Oh, you're waiting for the white man to confer nationality upon you before you discover who you are. Do you see that this whole thing doesn't make any sense? People that want to hold on rigidly to this viewpoint that they are Nigerians, I want the world to understand how foolish they sound. Nigeria became a country in 1960. Britain came, stole everything from us and said they're protecting us. After all, we are called protectorate. Before 1914, protectorate means people who are under the protection of the Queen. Why do we need your Queen Victoria or Queen whoever to protect us? I'm asking that question. We were called protectorate, North and South. And in 1914, they put us together and said, now you are now a colony of the British. Colony of the British. In other words, you are slaves of the British. You don't have any control over your destiny or your future. You are our property. In 1914, Britain made everybody their property. And I want to ask people then, the Ezekiels of this world, the Hours of this world, what nationality was your father? And anytime you ask that question, no Nigerian can answer it. Nobody can. Because they don't know where they're coming from and they don't know where they're going to. They are confused and very. That's why I said that the most idiotic person to encounter in life is a Nigerian. A one Nigerian is the most idiotic fool you can ever meet. Because in a debate, they cannot last for 5 minutes. Simply ask them, where does your father come from? My father is a Nigerian, nationality Nigerian. And his father. They say, I think he was, but I don't know. Now, if you don't know, how can you build a future out of something that you don't know? That is why being a Nigerian is the most foolish thing that can happen to anybody in the world. A police station was burnt today along Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. Channels to TV hasn't reported it. There is no curfew, no aerial bombardment of the settlements along Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. None whatsoever. But in Imo State and across Biafra land, the Igbo Fulefus are doing their best to please their boyfriends in the north. They are, because they're rent boys. That's what they do. Those they give their backsides to in the north. They want to please them. Mrs. Tambuwal wants to please Honey. Honey, baby, I don't know what they will call, maybe Honey and Baby. Who knows? If you see the way Wike was laughing, you will know maybe the guy whispered darling or baby in his ears. You can see the way he was laughing. You can see the way he was laughing. Darling, baby. He was, when you want to, you're dancing, maybe you're in a club, you're somewhere, and you want your wife to feel good. You whisper something in her ear. You see the way she laugh and smile. That was what happened to Wike. They're doing darling with the lives of his people. They were not going to let them. Let me remind everybody there was a police station burnt down along Lagos-Abeokuta, but no aerial bombardment of Yoruba land. Because Yoruba governors, they have sense. Fulani governors, they have sense. They are not stupid. It's only in the east. You will invite the same people that killed you between 66 and should I say from 1945 till today. You invite them to come and kill you more. I mean, I can't understand this. That tells you who these people are. And that police station, I told you one police station burned down in Niger State, another one burned down in Lagos. Nothing has happened. This confirms that Hopus of them and Wike Umahi are working with the Janjaweed masters to kill as many people as possible. These are murderers. And that is why those of them from the southern part of the zoo are the worst educated fools on this very earth. See the southern Nigeria, east and west. Iberiberism is of the highest order. They think they're educated, they think they went to school because they can speak one or two grammar, put sentences together, maybe do research, do copy and paste, and write their junk. They think somehow they've arrived intellectually. They are very empty, very vacuous. There is nothing in their skull at all. These educated people from the south, I went to school. I have 2 PhDs, I have 4 PhDs. There was somebody without work certificate. They voted for him in 2015. The idiot died in 2017. They went and manufactured ordinary rubber mask, rubber latex rubber mask to put on the face of any idiot that comes around. Tell you, trot him about, say he's Buhari, and you all agree he's Buhari. There is no type of blackmail that did not come under to say that Buhari is still alive. I told them no, he's dead. Anybody should be allowed. I have pulled my face before. Pull that boy's face, you will see that Buhari is dead. But because the frontal lobe of your brain is not connected to the other parts of your brain, that is why you cannot reason properly. That is why I keep saying that there is a disconnect between the frontal lobe of black people, the part of the brain that reasons and thinks, and the rest of the body. Because there is no other justification, there is no other reason as to why something so clear, something so obvious, something so blatant, that even the so-called chief of army staff died. And the president, and all of you are witness to the fact a whole Putin will come out in the rain to perform a national duty. Look at Macron of France. An obscure soldier, was a policeman, died. Macron came to lead the nation in mourning. Chief of army staff, you appointed only a few days, you claim you appointed only a few days ago, died. Somebody who flew to Paris, flew to London, cannot travel for 5 minutes to go and and he is the commander-in-chief. One of his top men died. And you claim that this Buhari is a military man. You're telling me that a military man will be in office and a fellow officer will fall and he will not go to the burial or funeral? Hell, this UG, who did this thing to you people? Who did this to you people? If it was a civilian, I can even understand. Macron is a civilian, the president of France. Yet he will attend military service, or should I say ceremony or burial. And you claim somebody who is a general as a head of state, another general serving him died, and he did not go. In which planet Queen Elizabeth II, her Britannic Majesty, will even attend a woman as the head of the army? This one is commander-in-chief of the army. You see what they call it? C in C. They call it C in when this UG C in C. Your top army officer you appointed into office died. You couldn't drive for 5 minutes, but you flew for I don't know, maybe 6-7 hours to go to Paris to attend the conference. And you're telling me that that person there is Buhari. Do you not see how foolish all of you are? In this, I hate you people, honestly. You make me sick. Your stupidity is astonishing. Had it been a civilian president, I can understand. So you claim Buhari is alive. But Buhari is a general. And his fellow general died. And he did not go, oh, come on, this UG. Black people. No wonder we are the lowest of the low in the whole world. We are at the bottom of the rubbish pile. I'm telling you the truth. The way we reason, God, you people, you make me sick. A general, a serving general who went to war, so you claim, is alive. Because I know that the late Buhari, had he been alive, oh, for goodness sake, he will be there. And he will speak without the aid of any written paper. But as somebody said, because of Islamic rule and all the rest of it, they didn't have time to coach him on what to say. They didn't practice. They didn't give him time to practice maybe 4 or 5 months in advance to come and deliver a speech. And you're telling me that after this display of idiocy by the person you claim is Buhari, white people will take you. A white man will respect you as a black person. You are joking. They can never respect you because you have no respect for yourself. You people, you make me sick. A general, not a civilian president, a general. He was a general. And the man he appointed only 2 or 3 weeks ago died and he couldn't go. And I tell him, he's Buhari. He's not, he's shy. Hey, there is no Buhari. The late Buhari would have attended the funeral. There is no Buhari in power, for goodness sake. You dumb monkeys from Africa. You make me sick. Every day I ask God, are you sure it wasn't a mistake? Your God don't make mistake. But are you sure black people, when you were thinking about them, are you sure there wasn't doubt somewhere? I have never seen a people as foolish as this. I have never seen in my life. A general, head of state, commander-in-chief of the armed forces. The chief of armed forces, chief of army staff died. And the dead cannot bury the dead. A dead man, Buhari. Aisha has gone on the ground as usual. Well, Dubai. Here suffering. She's a little girl. I'm older than her. Aisha is only 50 years. She has to. I'm not asking her not to enjoy life. She's more than welcome to enjoy life. But stop deceiving the people. The educated intellectuals from the East and their counterpart in the West, the sophisticated moronic brigade in the West. You see what you have done to yourselves. Only the Fulani. A Fulani man can become a major general without fighting any battle. Do you know how the only military accomplishment of Ibrahim Atahiru, the late chief of army staff that was buried, was 2 days ago or whatever? Do you know the highest battle he has ever fought in his life was to invade my house as a result of which my parents died and 28 of my men. That is the only thing, because they sent him to Borno and he messed up. You don't know that? Ibrahim Atahiru, you don't know that? They sent him to 82 division in Enugu. For some of you, they say, why Biafran celebrate? Why won't you celebrate the idiot's demise? Who is he? Who is he? The only military success he ever had in his life was the death of my parents to invade my house. He's a general. So in his CV, if they ask him, what are your accomplishments as a general? Where did you fight? Which theater did you operate in? The only theater he fought was in Isiama Faruku. I went to Nnamdi Kanu's house to invade it. I invaded his house, his compound. That's all. That's as a general, and he's a general. Fulani. That's what they have done to you people. A Fulani man can become a major general without firing one bullet in anger, in war. Have you noticed that all the generals you have in Nigeria, all their thought of duty is killing civilians? Have you ever noticed that before? They only promote them when they kill civilians. That's all they do. Did Nigeria manage to recover Bakassi? Obasanjo, are you listening to me, Obasanjo? You are there, the money lover. You claim you don't like money, but we know you do. After all, you were taking one naira in those days from MTN. Have you forgotten? That was why when you were sharing the license, you had to go and do a deal with a South African company. MTN was from South Africa. You gave the license to your brother, Adenuga of Glow. When you scratch MTN card in those days, every one naira will go to Obasanjo, true or false. Oh my goodness. Zoo. Fulani, I want to ask you, which all this nonsense is a general? I want to ask you, you are there to defend the territorial integrity of Nigeria, is that correct? Where were you people when Bakassi was taken from you? Bakassi Peninsula and given to Cameroon. You went there, we saw your body bags coming back through Ikote Benin Road, passing on my ordinary gendarme of Cameroon beat you in Bakassi. Now, I want to know why you would appoint anybody a major general in Nigeria based on what? Which war did you fight? Have you ever won any territory or conquered anywhere for Nigeria before? But you're asking a major general because you're Fulani. Wretched cowards. Ibrahim Atahiru's only distinguished honor came when he attacked my house with troops from 82 Division. Troops, army. Came from Enugu or Hafiandu Binze. That led to the death of my parents. And the Fulani Janjaweed, they were rejoicing that my parents died as a result of the trauma they underwent when this same idiot that died a few days ago stormed my family house and killed 28 people in the process. That is the same person that some Biafrans, some idiotic Igbo people will be saying, "Oh, we are mourning our chief." You know, sometimes I don't know. There must be an ant or a disease that have eaten our brain. To be honest with you, you're celebrating a man that came to kill your brothers and succeeded in killing some of your brothers. My own parents died as a result of it. You're celebrating, you say, "Oh, we are mourning our chief of staff." That is why I say that what you people are suffering from is what I call the Hausa syndrome. You know, after the Fulani is subdued and rendered the Hausa people useless, they started supporting everything that the Fulani man did. Are you aware of that? That's exactly what you're doing. It's not Stockholm syndrome. It's just, you just fall in love with your kidnapper. No, this one, you worship your oppressor. I feel sorry for some of you. Fulani. As I tweeted earlier today, let me tell you the tweet I tweeted earlier today. Do you know the Fulanis, they have no sea, they have no river of note. Only if you can consider River Niger as being theirs. Do you also know that Fulani people are in charge of all the seaports we have? Do you know it's the Fulani man that is in charge of Iguacha, Port Harcourt Seaport, in charge of One, in charge of Warri, in charge of Calabar? They are the ones that locked it and said no ship can come here. If you want to clear your goods, go to Lagos. One small deal they cut with Yoruba corrupt politicians. Let every freight land in Lagos so we can tax them and take all their money. That wickedness I told you about. That is something that our people don't understand. Those that idiotically call themselves Niger Delta. You see, when an Igbo man is being punished, all of you are being punished as well, isn't it? Because of this punishment being meted out to an Igbo man, Calabar Seaport cannot open because an Igbo man may benefit from it. Igbo Seaport in Igbo land itself, in Igbo land, it can't open because Igbo man will benefit. Worry, how about Worry? Oh, Worry is very, very close now. It's close to Okpanam, it's close to Asaba. They will benefit. Why don't we shut it down? And after seeing all of these things, you still come out to say you're a proud Nigerian. Do you see how foolish you are? Fulani people controlling the sea, they have no sea. If you throw them into the water, they will drown. They're like stone. They don't swim. They don't know how to swim. The people that actually own the seaports, own the areas that can even swim, they are not nowhere to be found. And how about the oil? That someone says, oh, you want to take our oil. That is why you want Biafra. I want to ask a simple question. Do you own the oil? The answer is no. Now, let me tell you why they want one Nigeria. Because the Sultan of Sokoto, who is the head of the demonic Fulani Caliphate, owns, I think, is it how many oil wells? Is it 36 or 38 oil wells he owns? One single man. Why would such a person want Nigeria to break? But when you hear him talking about keeping Nigeria warm, you will think that he has this love for you. He has love for his oil wells. He doesn't give a damn about you. That is why there is no cleanup anywhere. That is why they can pollute the land and do whatever they like. And you still love them. And that is why some people that call themselves Niger Delta youths, you know this, I don't know what is wrong with them. They call themselves Niger Delta youths. They always support the Fulani. Despite what the Fulanis are doing to them, they still support them. That is an advanced form of the Hausa syndrome that they're suffering from. Even the Hausa people these days are beginning to wake up, but some of them are still in slumber. Very, very sad indeed. They control the oil wells. You go to school, they score the lowest in exam hall. They are the lowest. But that person that scored the lowest is going to be the chief of army staff tomorrow. Watch and see. Before your eyes, what can you do? You complain, you grumble, you go back home and you sleep. You sleep on your wife's chest and that's it. You forget everything. And they say, oh, don't worry, darling, tomorrow will be better. And that's it. That is Nigeria for you. They come last in class. They are the lowest though. If you go and check JAMB, go and check WAEC, they are the lowest of the low. But they produce a customs chief, they produce chief justice of the federation, they produce attorney general, they produce immigration comptroller general, they produce comptroller general for prison, they produce IG of police, they produce chief of air staff, they produce chief of army staff, they produce chief of naval staff. They come last in class. And you don't want Nigeria. Let us get together and build Nigeria. People that came last. Then why do we have people going to school then? That is the zoo for you. They say, why we don't want the North, why we don't want Nigeria to break? Why North does not want Nigeria to break? Arewa Consultative Forum. I want to give you the reasons that they gave. He said, there is no way any part of Nigeria will succeed without a civil war. We are so integrated that it is impossible for us to sit at a conference table and allow each other to go their ways. It's impossible. In other words, they are foreclosing any avenue for referendum. They are asking for war. When that war comes to them, they say, oh, Nnamdi Kanu is seceding. They want to secede. How can I secede from something that was formed in 1960? My father is older than Nigeria. How can my father secede from something that is older than? I can't understand the life of me. Let me tell you something. Now we're going to add another subject when Biafra comes. We're going to establish as part of the medical sciences an anatomy course called Studying the Brain of a Black Man. I want to understand why blacks are so foolish. I want to understand that part of their brain that predisposes them to foolishness and stupidity. I want to understand it because it doesn't make any sense to me. They keep using the word secede. Have you noticed that they don't want to use the word self-determination? Never. They don't want to use it because Britain advised them. Don't use the word self-determination, because if you use the word self-determination, the world will know that Nigeria is an artificial construct. The world will know that Nigeria is not organic. The world will know that we created this monstrosity for you. Always use secession. So to give the impression that Nigeria has been in existence for over 1 million years before now. Do you understand me? Are you following what I'm preaching? I'm sure that some of it, they're saying there is no way we can separate without going to war. That's what the rulers of Nigeria is telling you. Fulani Caliphate is saying, why is that the case? Because we in the north, this is their own word, I'm quoting them verbatim, because we in the north fought the war to keep this country together. So it will be a contradiction for those of us who try to stop this country from breaking up to now be engaging in activities that will break up this country. We don't want this country to break up. Nigeria is a great country as it is. We have problems, but those problems are not enough for us to break. Do you understand them now? In other words, that Britain gave them the land called Nigeria as compensation in perpetuity. Britain gave it to Fulani, do whatever you like. That is why Katrina land can come down to the east and be crisscrossing, going from one government house to the other, telling them who to kill. But the same Fulani ravaging, killing, raping, and murdering people, nothing is happening in their land. There is no Katrina land over there, telling them who to kill. Now, Fulani have said to you, we are not going to let you go unless you are prepared to fight a war. I now know that you understand their mindset and where they're going. Now, the problem is this. How can people come out and claim that Benue is theirs by right of conquest? I want people to understand this. How is it possible that the same Fulani that is responsible for 6 terror organizations in Nigeria, they themselves funded and founded them, all of them? How come you people want to be in the same country with such people? I can't, I kept thinking today, how is that possible? How? Because they infiltrated us with the help of the British, and they conditioned us to love them even after their impunity towards us. That is what defeats me, honestly speaking. How did the Fulani manage to get us to still love them? Some of you Efulefus, some of you one Nigeria rubbish, idiotic people. How is it possible that Fulani managed to convince all of you to love them, despite what have done to you? Then I looked at the case of the Hausa people, and then it dawned on me that we are all suffering from an advanced form of Hausa syndrome. Do you know why I'm saying this? They say Niger Delta Youth Council mourns death of the Chief of Army Staff. Are you sure that people are Biafran? Some of them, some of this Niger Delta rubbish. Are you sure they're Biafran people? Are you sure that the same people that gave birth to Atakabura? Are you sure it's the same lineage? Because I don't understand. They did a press release. We, the leadership of Niger Delta Youth Council, received with great sadness the sudden demise of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahir, who died in a plane crash. We want investigation. Now, let me ask you something, you idiot, you moron, calling yourself. What idiots called? Maybe it's a DSS group, who knows? He says it's called the Niger Delta, whatever garbage. Let me remember their name. You know me, I don't take prisoners. I tell you the truth. You may not like it, but it is the truth. And I must preach it. Their name is Niger Delta Youth Council. You people are foolish. Very, very foolish. Let me ask you something. Where's Ken Serewa from? Ken Serewa is from the Niger Delta. Is that correct? Ogoni land, so to speak. Going by your own definition. After all, Imo State is also part of Niger Delta. Abia State is also Niger Delta, but let's leave it to one side anyway. When Ken Serewa was killed, how many Arewa groups issued a statement condemning his death at the hands of Abacha? Let me repeat my question to these Niger Delta Youth Council idiots. Maybe looking for money. You want to buy dry fish, maybe your kai has finished. Let me ask you again. Ken Serewa was an icon of the Niger Delta struggle. Is that correct? How many Arewa youth groups issued a statement lamenting his passing or his death at the hands of Abacha? Now you understand that you're suffering from an advanced form of Hausa syndrome. It seems to me the more they oppress us, the more we love them. That is how foolish we have become. I don't know if the Northern Sharia youths ever cried when Serewa was killed. the most advanced form of Hausa syndrome. Look at the way the Hausa people was emasculated. Hausa Fulani, we Hausa Fulani, until we came. After lambasting them for 3 years, consistently is now Fulani. Are you hearing about Hausa anymore? Let me ask the question, are you hearing about Hausa anymore? Hausa is gone, dead, buried, finished. Yes, answering we regret the passing of Ibrahim Atahir, Chief of Army Staff. But you people were the same people complaining that there is no federal character in appointments in Abuja. Is that not correct? When they appoint the next Fulani man, you complain. After a while, you start loving him because that is the way they conditioned you to behave. Very, very sad indeed. I'm going to go back a little bit in history, but let me start from now. Al-Banawi, this is a news headline from the newspaper. Al-Banawi appointed ISIS West Africa Province Boko Haram leader, arrested the commanders loyal to Let Shakao. Are you following me now? The same Al-Banawi, the son of Muhammad Yusuf, the founder of Boko Haram, the person that Muhammad Buhari groomed personally to say, since your father is no more, you can take over Boko Haram. And Shekau said no, they have not relinquished power. Then, this happened in 2015. Are you listening to me? In 2015. Now, Al-Banawi was released from prison. Go back to the old preachings I made on this very boy. I met him at John Tozo's court in Abuja. He was released by the Chief Justice of the Federal High Court now, John Tozo, that they wanted to use to jail me, and I told the idiot, you cannot jail me, you're a fool. It was John Tozo, the present Chief Justice of the Federal High Court of Nigeria, that released this terrorist, this killer of ISIS. This is ISIS we're talking about. You know. I have their facts and figures. Now, the Islamic State, ISIS, West Africa province, under the new leadership of Abu Musad al-Banawi, has taken over all territories under the control of the late Abubakar Shekau in a major revenge onslaught against the former, because when he grew up, he became of age. Buhari pushed him to go and take over his father's mantle. Shekau said no. This was the revenge. And how was it possible that Shekau was ambushed? Because Shekau attended a peace meeting called by Ibrahim Atahiru, the dead Chief of Army Staff. And what I'm giving you is facts. I don't have time for rubbish. We have the very, of course, maybe apart from Mossad, we have the very finest intelligence in the world. I'm telling you this, the M branch. How was it possible that Shekau was surrounded? Because they wanted the continuation of that very meeting. I told you this thing many years ago. They called a meeting, they sat together, and they said to Shekau, stop attacking mosques and Muslims. Go to the south, go to the east and take it. And Shekau said, no, we cannot take the east. I want to give you one explanation that I've never told you people before. I was very, very close to Boko Haram leadership. Are you aware of that? Very, very close to them. They told me a lot of things. Boko Haram leadership told me, I won't tell the name of the person, told me in confidence, the person was being held at Ikoyi prison. I was in Kuje because I was instrumental in making sure that people who are not guilty are released from prison, regardless if you call them terrorists, Boko Haram or not. So they loved me very much. I'm being honest with you. They were very close to me, and they told me something. Shekau told Buhari, you cannot take the East. The East cannot be taken. Buhari said, okay. When he was alive, Buhari now said, okay, if that is the case, I'm going to divide the organization. How do you think that Shekau knew that Buhari had died? That was why he called the idiot, the little boy that parading, Yusuf Abubakar Muhammad. He knows his name. Shekau knows Buhari is dead. Go and watch, I think it was the second to his last video he made. They called for a peace meeting so they can plan on how they're going to push to the east to take the whole of Nigeria by next year. That was, I told you before, that was the timetable. That is why this slaughter is going on now in Niger State, in Benue State, and some parts of Kogi. They're entering Kogi. Maybe around October they'll be in Kogi. And by then, when I ask you to make reference to this broadcast, you say, oh, he said it. How many times did I tell you about Al-Banawi, the son of the late founder of Boko Haram? How many times did I tell you? Did I not tell you they were working with this Buhari government before Buhari died? If not, why would the government go and align with ISIS in order to defeat Boko Haram? You see what I'm saying about common sense? Common sense. You need to be able to reason. You know, in those days when you're small, if you're misbehaving, you have visitors in the house. Once your stupidity takes you into the living room and your mom looks at you, you will know. She will convey a message to you immediately. And you take out your useless self from the place. Your mother will look at you, only looking at you. You will know your mom wants you to go and bring a plate, or to go and wash your plate, or to go and have a shower, or to go and take something and eat. But just look, she will not say anything. She will only look at you. You understand the message she's trying to convey. That is why when your child is you say, "What a crime is," you don't have to say anything. Do you remember when I told you that ISIS and Buhari regime APC that they are one? Did you believe me? You didn't. Of course, in this UG, you're black. How can you believe fact when you say it? If we had been able to reason properly, do you think Africa would be as poor as it is today? Of course not. It's because we cannot reason. I told you that they are part and parcel. They are in this game together. Buhari wants an attack on the east. He doesn't want the army to do it or the police to do it. He wants to use terrorists to do it. And ISIS was the perfect people to do this very job. I told you this thing many years ago. Do you know that today, surprise, surprise, Nigeria government is partnering with ISIS to defeat Boko Haram? I received message in the spirit. And when I want to preach it, something will tell me that I will say, why won't I preach it? After a while, it comes to pass. You will see the facts and evidence before you. How can any sensible government anywhere in the world partner with a terrorist group, the number one frontline terror group in the world, to defeat another terror group? Where has that ever been done before? That was what killed Ibrahim Atahiru. Are you aware of that? He was the one that masterminded it because he was a failure in Borno when he went to fight Shekau. Shekau defeated him. So he was very desperate to redeem his name. So he went to ISIS and gave ISIS a deal. We're not going to attack you. That is why they call them, they changed their name from terrorists to bandits. So ISIS can do whatever they like. No police will arrest them. No army will arrest them. No bombardment. Sheikh Gumi can go and negotiate with them. Nothing will happen to them. The key was to make them numerically stronger than Boko Haram, to make them the acceptable face of Islam, Fulani Islamic terrorism. And he succeeded. I know that Shekau was injured. He wasn't killed. He was injured. That's why they cannot display his body. He was injured. He was not killed. But I'm coming to that in a minute. The gospel from heaven. That's what I'm giving you. And they know in Asrock now they're shaking. Oh, how did he know? He has come again. I thought he was no longer going to broadcast. I know all these things. There is nothing we don't know. We know everything. That is why we managed to defeat Mietiala with the little meager resources. We defeated them because we know what they do not know. If I want all the governors dead in one night, they will all be dead. But I don't want them dead. At least not yet. Now listen. Do you know that Ibrahim Atahiru wanted to capture Shekau alive? Are you aware of that? So he can interrogate him and ask him, how come you're getting all this support? Because they know he's in Sambisa forest. Nigeria army has enough men and equipment to circle Sambisa forest and to engage from all sides. But most of the people in the military hierarchy of the zoo, they are Boko Haram sympathizers, almost all of them. Another lesson for the Fulefus and the intellectual brigade to learn from, because the Fulanis don't kill their own. Never. They understand that these are the foot soldiers we need in the future to fight this very war to deep the Quran in the Atlantic. Buhari knew that very, very clearly. That was why Buhari was so disappointed with Shekau, that when they swore him as the president, Shekau continued, he didn't stop. That was Buhari's major disappointment with Boko Haram. They were his babies now. Who doesn't know that? And Ibrahim Atahiru, that died a few days ago, took billions upon billions of dollars to ISIS, to al-Banawi, and said to him, Abu Musa al-Banawi, take this very money, make it possible. I am going to strengthen you. You're going to be the face of Fulani terrorism in Nigeria. And he accepted it. And now they called Shekau to a meeting. At that very meeting, Shekau was attacked. That was what happened. And in revenge for the attack on Shekau, they brought down the plane. Because two people parachuted from that very plane before it crashed. They opened the door to decompress it. It's called decompression. That's that thing they tell you in the plane. When, in case of cabin pressure, loss of cabin pressure, pull this mask and put it on your face, you get oxygen. You remember that drill they give you every time you fly? These two assassins were in the aircraft and they jumped with a parachute. They're in the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Air Force. These are the same people that they are putting, Boko Haram, they painted Boko Haram now in the army. They are the ones that killed him for attempting to sabotage Shekau. And their new commander now is very, very mean. I'm telling you, even deadlier than Shekau. The new guy is, oh my word, very mean. And they now have war on their hands. I'm telling you. Do you know that the Nigerian army, do you know that Ibrahim Atahiru confessed that Nigerian army doesn't have the strength to fight Boko Haram? That was why he brought in ISIS to do the job for him. Are you aware of that? That was why, so that there can be a leadership tussle. You know that thing they try to do with IPOB? You know, anybody we sack or expel, bring him, or he's IPOB after 1 month, he just die natural death, of course. Because Elohim is in charge of everything we're doing. You know that the ISIS leadership and Boko Haram have been fighting the supremacy war. I've been telling you about this for very many years. Who will take over? And finally, they have tried to do what they can to silence Shekau, because Buhari was not happy before he died. And all this Fulani Caliphate, including the Sultan, nobody's happy. They want Shekau to face the East. Their problem is to take the East. When Shekau said no, Buhari, before he died, they told him about Ruga. He wants Ruga. Fulani settlement in every community, in every local government across Nigeria. When we said no, he said, okay. He now asked Mietiala to take over. That was why Mietiala was killing people. Now they know that Mietiala can no longer do the job. They now contracted ISIS to do it. That's your one Nigeria for you. Obasanjo, are you listening? One Nigerianist. When is the didn't. Let me tell you something. Boko Haram will not stop. And the fear of the Nigerian army is that they cannot fight this war on two fronts. So it is better for them to get ISIS to do the job, ISIS that they can trust and rely upon to begin the killing, the terrorism, sacking villages in TV land, taking over, Nupe land, doing all of these things. That's what they prefer. And then they can now move the Nigerian army to come to the east to meet us. That was their plan. That's their game plan. They wanted to do this deal with Chad. Unfortunately, Idris Dabi died. Now that is, you see how Elohim works. That was the deal. Let the Chadian and the Niger troops come in to help them to stabilize the north, while the main bulk of the Nigerian army will march with their tanks to the east. That's the game plan. The whole thing has fallen apart because there is no Buhari anymore. And ISIS is now in charge of your lives. Boko Haram may pity you a little bit. ISIS, they have no pity whatsoever. No pity whatsoever. They can bring in as many armored cars as they like. Only one landmine will destroy it, disable it, to park by the roadside. Do you understand me? This is 2021, not 1967. They must understand this, that we are going. It doesn't matter. What are they going to do? Nothing. The same way we defeated Mietiala terrorist group and they brought in the army and police, we are going to defeat them. After that, they'll start bombing us from the air. Then after that, they will give up. For you to be free, you need to be stubborn to a fault. And I want to show Fulani Janjaweedism what stubbornness is all about. They're not stubborn. I want to prove it to them. Their children will talk about us. Fulani kids, in years to come, they will sing folklore with our names. They will say they never knew that such people existed. If you think that by putting the lives of Hope Adam and Dave Umahi in political office that is going to deter us, you are dreaming. We are unstoppable. That's why I said, before we came, there was nothing like us. Now we are here. Nobody can attempt half of what we're doing. And when we are gone, you will pray and cry that we live forever. I'm telling you. They don't know what's... You don't know what is going to hit you. They have no idea. Anybody telling me that Nigeria will survive this present format, I'm telling you, I can bet you anything in the world. I will bet money against you that the zoo will fall. It's only coronavirus that saved them. Only coronavirus that's still holding them. Very, very soon. That is the reason why APC political leaders in Yoruba land met together and said, we support the position of the southern governors to ban open grazing and movement of cattle by land. Tinubu, Bajabiamila, Sanwo-Olu, and other Southwest APC leaders support Southern governors' ban on open grazing, condemn separate. Of course, that is given. Everybody's making money, but I want to condemn it. I want to condemn it. You see a very ugly old man with pot belly, speeding over even his knees. He cannot get up in the morning. He can get up one day and go and marry or decide to marry an 18-year-old fresh graduate. Because of hardship, because there's no electricity. The economy cannot grow. I want to tell you something. You see, those of you who are in the West, ask anybody who is in Europe or somewhere in North America. Before you get a woman, you have to buy flour, you have to buy chocolate, you have to talk, convince, you have to look decent and presentable. But in poverty-stricken Africa, all you need to do is to have money. Because a girl needs to do her hair, she needs to buy makeup, she needs to do this, she needs to change her underwear and all the rest of it. So she needs money. Regardless, there must be money. Money must change hands, whether you like it or not. Because there are no jobs to go to. They become very desperate. Do you know when I discovered this very thing? Was as far back as 2005. I kept researching one day I kept asking myself, why is there no electricity, constant supply of electricity? It then dawned on me that the Fulanese did it that way deliberately in order to make life very, very cheap. Do you know that if you supply electricity 24 hours a day, people will not give a damn about the government. People will be creative enough to make something for themselves. Now they had to impoverish everybody. That is why I hate Obasanjo when he's doing preaching. It is his sanctimonious rubbish. Obasanjo destroyed the stockfish market in Aba, destroyed the Okreka market second-hand clothing. Obasanjo destroyed the glass factory in Aba. By a stroke of the pen, Obasanjo you're looking at. A very evil man. Evil man, I'm telling you. Evil upon evil. Ask Obasanjo who stopped second-hand clothing market in Aba. Ask Obasanjo. It's a very simple question. He will tell you it's him that stopped it. Now, Tinubu, all the APC people from Yoruba land, they met together and said, we support the southern governors, what they have done by banning movement of cattle on foot from place to place. Is that not correct? Yes, it is. Wait for it. Today, 24th of May, a statement was issued by Asarok. Not by Buhari himself, but by his Garba. And Buhari is alive. Inside Asarok, 17 governors met from the south, something of national importance. He could not address any of you. Once again, Garba. And they're telling me that Buhari is alive. Garba Shehu, presidential spokesman, in a statement recalled Buhari approving measures. What they're trying to say is that Buhari is not happy. Buhari moves against killer headsmen, says open grazing ban illegal. Buhari, a president of Nigeria in a democratic dispensation, is telling you that banning open grazing is illegal because they rely on their cattle to do the men attack for them. That is their justification for entering into your farm. For them to come into your land, they need the cattle. To say, oh, we are grazing. Do you understand their trick? That is why, by all means, by every means, they need their cattle with them at all times. Do you know that somebody who calls himself a president is saying open grazing ban is illegal? I want to prove to the whole world tonight that your average Fulani Janjaweed is a bundle of idiocy. I also want to prove to the world tonight that Nigeria doesn't have educated people. You see, the senior advocate talking rubbish. All of them, none of them is educated enough to understand what it means to adhere to the rule of law. You know, when you hear Malami, when you hear Garabashe, rule of law, they don't know the meaning of it. Do you know that the justices you have in Nigeria, the senior advocates in Nigeria, they don't even know the meaning of the rule of law because it's in English. It's an English phrase. Because they are not English people, because they are not versed in the nuances of English language, they don't know what it means. I'm telling you, if you like, go to your professor of law tomorrow and say to professor of law tomorrow in any university in Nigeria, what is the meaning of the rule of law? He doesn't know what it means. But this night I'm going to teach you for free. So tomorrow when you go to your lecture hall, you'll be able to pose in front of the others about what rule of law means. I now want to tell you that this present regime, this present terrorist bandit regime you have in Asarok, Fulani Caliphate, Kabal, they don't know the meaning of the rule of law because they are all quota graduates. They're not educated people. Why do I say what I'm saying? Rule of law means, what does rule of law mean? It means following a precedent by law. That is why anywhere you go in the world, if you have a case, that is why they said, Akledolu versus Ondo State, or Ondo State versus water resources, or Brown versus white. Why do you think when you get to court, maybe your lawyer is preparing a brief, they cite all these cases, is to let the judge understand that this case has come before a court before, and this was the determination. And given that this determination was reached in the past, I expect you to follow the rule of law and reach the same determination because both cases are the same. Precedent in law, rule of law. I'm now trying to teach you something they will never teach you in your university because you're in a zoo. It is called precedent. Not president, precedent. P-R-E-C-E-D-E-N-T. Precedent in law. That is the meaning of the rule of law, where law holds supreme. Not the dictates of man, but law itself. What do I mean by that? Let us go to Cornell Law School. Where people are learned, not zoo schools. To understand what precedent means, before I now tell you why the entire Fulani presidency is a bloody joke, because they are ill-educated. I want to prove to the world that Nigerians are not educated. And forget the son, the senior advocate, the PhD. These are a bunch of idiots. They know nothing. Precedent refers to a court decision that is considered as authority for deciding subsequent cases involving identical or similar facts or similar legal issues. Precedent is incorporated into the doctrine of stare decisis and requires courts to apply the law in the same manner to every case with the same facts. It means anytime you steal my goat and somebody is found guilty of that, stealing of my goat, anytime somebody else's goat is stolen, my case will be referred, cited as Nnamdi Kanu versus goat stealer. Do you understand? To let the judge understand that similar thing happened in the past, and this was the decision reached by this honorable judge or right honorable judge. I therefore ask you to adopt the decision of that very court. Simple. Law is very good. I must tell you this. I don't even know why I didn't study law anymore. My goodness. Do you know that this very precedent is elementary law in every school all over the world? Even the lawyers in Nigeria, they practice it, but they don't know the meaning of it. Why am I saying what I'm saying? You have somebody called the Attorney General of the Federation who should have guided whoever they are calling Buhari not to make such a stupid utterance that open grazing is ban on open grazing is illegal, because it is not. It is a law. It is a precedent law. Precedent, not president. Precedent law, Precedent. Because a man called Justice Adewale Thompson banned open grazing on the 17th of April 1969 and warned of unprovoked killings by Fulani headsmen in 1969 at the height of the war of Biafra, or war against Biafra. A precedent law was made by Honorable Justice Adewale Thompson. He banned open grazing in Nigeria. According to the doctrine of stare decisis, it means that anytime you have a case involving Fulani headsmen and anybody, the pronouncement of Honorable Justice Adewale Thompson must hold sway. That is the meaning of the rule of law. People need to pay me. People are going to pay. Because what I'm teaching you, you can never learn in any zoo school, forever and ever. It is called stare decisis. It means, I will spell it for you. S-T-A-R-E is Latin. S-T-A-R-E-D-E-C-I-S-I-S. Stare decisis. My goodness. It is called, it promotes the even-handed, predictable, and consistent development of legal principles. It fosters reliance on judicial decisions and contributes to the actual and perceived integrity of the judicial process. Therefore, if Thompson in 1969 can ban open grazing, any other judge overturning it goes contrary to this very rule. You are not maintaining judicial consistency. Are you going to pay me enough for this? I'm preaching the gospel of heaven. Now you understand, from your AGF, AGM, TTM, all of them are useless. They don't even understand law. Their own laws, they don't know. Their own laws. Because if you are a student of law, there is something called precedent. Every court decision is considered as authority for deciding every similar case. Since Adewale Thompson has said it in 1969, it must, as long as Nigeria remains one, practices the same legal system. What Adewale Thompson said in 1969 is the law of the land. There is no open grazing in Nigeria. Fulani people have been disobeying the law since 1969. And these are the people you want to be in the same country with? These are the same people you want to be in the same country with. Is that what you're telling me? Of course not. Absolutely not. And we're not going to have it. They don't even know the law that they when you go to school, go to ABU, about University, you come out with the lowest score and you become the Attorney General of the Federation. I mean, no one can blame you. No one can blame you. And why are they doing this to us? You may ask yourselves, why are they doing this to us? Because they hate us. That is a program for another day. I am going to preach it. Maybe in the next 2 days, I'll preach it. But this evening, I don't want to overburden you with too many facts and figures. I don't want to overburden you with too many, should I say, theories and as to how things are supposed to work. Let me tell you how Biafra will be different. You see, in Biafra, oh dear me, everybody from nursery school will know what their rights are under the Constitution, the rule of law. Anybody that goes against the rule of law in Biafra land, oh my goodness, you regret the day you were born. Do you want to become like Nigeria, where people go to school with PhD in law, claiming every day rule of law, they don't even know what it means. Because if Nigeria practices the rule of law, how come a law that was made in 1969 April, a president can come out to say that law is illegal? A judicial pronouncement. My goodness. Let me bring this program to an end here. I have an announcement to make. Biafrans must be very careful at home, especially our leadership. Some people in leadership positions are dabbling into security affairs, and I'm not going to have it. I will only give a general warning now. Next time, I'll dismiss you live on air. No coordinator on the ground has any deal done because Dave Umahi is saying, bring all your this thing, I will go to Abuja. Some of you will stupidly go and meet that idiot. If you meet Dave Umahi, you're gone. Shekau went for a meeting. Peace meeting, let's move, let's march to the east, let's do peace. And there he was attacked. Do not listen to these people, they are demons, I'm telling you the truth. You must be very, very careful. We must all be very, very careful and be your brother's keeper. They can abduct as many as they like. After all, we lost 5 million during the war and we are still alive today, isn't it? The most populous ethnic group, believe it or not. So it doesn't matter how many they, as our men, any day they say they've gone into the bushes and taken out our men, then I will have reason to worry. They can kidnap as many people as they like. They think that by kidnapping them, people will start shouting and then say, oh, please stop what you're doing. Can't you see we are suffering? You will even suffer more because we're not going to stop. We cannot stop. Get this thing. It doesn't matter. I don't pay kidnappers ransom. And I see Hope Uzodinma, Wike, and Omahi as kidnappers for fun, and that's what they're doing. They can kidnap my entire village. I don't give a damn. I don't know for some of you, but I only have one pursuit in life, and that is to restore Biafra. Anything else can happen. God in heaven knows I don't give a damn. That was why I said I will sacrifice anything sacrificable to get Biafra. It doesn't matter what it is. If Elohim says to me today, if you come out now and they cut off your head, Biafra will come, I will give it now. I won't waste time. So people who are being kidnapped will do our best to bring you out. But no amount of writing junk opinion by all these multi-purpose efulefus can stop us from doing what we're doing. And they have not given birth to the person. Our mission is irreversible. We'll pay any price. I want to give you another historical example or context. Go and read about how the Russians defeated Napoleon. Read about how they defeated Nazism, Adolf Hitler. There is a movie I want some of you to watch, Enemies at the Gate. Go and watch it. I think it's Clive Owen. Is it Clive Owen? I don't know who did that, who played the lead role in that movie. You know, I watch movies and I learn from it. Some of you watch cinema for entertainment. Me, I've tried to learn from every circumstance I find myself in. Go and watch Enemies at the Gate and see people who are patriotic, how they defend their land. Go and study the history of Afghanistan. Why no superpower has been able to overpower them to this very. Do you know that Afghanistan, they defeated the British during the Opium Wars? Are you aware of that? I'm not sure you know. Nobody can take Afghanistan. It doesn't matter who you are. If you like, have the best technology in the world. If you like, have nuclear weapons, have satellites everywhere, you cannot defeat them. That is what I want Biafrans to understand. We have an iron will. This mission we've embarked upon, we are undefeatable. I can assure you of that. They can kidnap, they can come to and kidnap everybody above the age of 18. That is their business. It's not going to, our men are in the bushes. Nobody's touching them. So you don't need to worry. Our land is secure. They will come and they will die there. That I can assure you. And I want to thank you very much for listening this evening. And maybe I will come back maybe in the next 2 days to complete this epistle. But I'm sure that this evening they now know that nobody who claims they've studied law in the zoo is actually intelligent. Because if they are, this debate about Fulani, grazing rats and all that rubbish shouldn't exist. A justice quashed it in 1969. But here we are going to preach this very gospel every time that we have opportunity to do so. But despite everything that I've said, maybe out of anger and frustration, I say what I say because I love you. I don't hate anybody, to be honest with you. It's your stupidity that I hate. I hate the ignorance of a black man. I hate the fact that blacks are so stupid. But I say what I say that they may be able to change and be able to embrace the mercy and the grace that God Almighty in heaven has bestowed upon them. That is why I want every ethnic nationality in Nigeria to be free, not just Biafrans, everybody to be free. We may bequeath a future worthy to our children. With all the love in my heart, from me, from here, good evening.